Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. Hack the planet, good morning, Smark. Let's start smaller. I am doing more hackmud today, obviously. And I am still stuck on Shuffler. So we're gonna just keep going with this. This is pretty much the only hackmud time I get during the week right now. So we're just gonna pick up right where we left off. And I think what we figured out is that the permutations will help us solve. I think this is what Nucleosum was saying. The permutations will help us to solve Shuffler, but they're not going to solve it itself, because that's what we were noticing. Last time we were running for a given permutation, we would run permutation 0, call Shuffler, and then run permutation 0 and try that as the answer. And if that didn't work, we would run permutation 0, run Shuffler, and run permutation 1, and then try to see if that would be the answer. And we would continue, and none of those ended up being the answer. So quite likely what's happening is what I've described here. So the Shuffler hint may be deterministic based off the combination. So for permutation 0 of the upgrades, it will always give the same hint. But because it shuffles in a random fashion after it gives you the hint, I think this solution is different. Like the answer is going to be that deterministic hint, whatever algorithm that represents, applied to the new order that it gives you. So you can't just like blindly do brute force on it, which is what essentially working through those permutations was doing. All right. So Nucleosum wanted us to check what happens with Shuffler if we have a full inventory. But I don't want to fill up a tier 3 user with 128 upgrades. So if we go and check out one of my tier 1 users, I think, got 32 slots. That's still, I still have to buy a lot of upgrades though. I mean, it's a good question. What does happen? What happens with USAC if you have a full inventory? I don't want to know what happens, but I think there was another hint that Nucleosum left, which was that tier 3 seems to be about getting something to do one thing while a second thing does something different. Because clearly USAC and Shuffler have very good synergy if they're in the lock stack, right? Shuffler guarantees that someone has upgrades and USAC eats them. So, I mean, Lockjaw eats them too, right? It's all about destroying upgrades and making sure you have upgrades. I suppose I could just buy 32 upgrades. I don't know if this is really going to tell me anything, but I'm going to do it. So we'll start with an easy 21. I don't think I have any, I don't, zylib.bank. Is that the script? I don't even remember. I haven't used my bank manually in such a long time. Action, withdraw, amount, 1 million GC maybe? Wow, okay. I'm surprised I remembered that. So, man. I don't have my market macros on this user. I want to do it like this. Oh, it's count, not amount. And there's 8 of them, so I might as well buy all 8. So that's 8 down, that's 24 left to go. Oh, yeah, they don't have to be equipped. So that's fine. Can I buy 0 of something? Yeah, see, I want to actually not specify. Damn it. So I want to be able to do an info on them to see how many there are. I think that's it. Yes, and there are 11 of them. So I should be able to buy 11. Okay. Sorry, give me a sec. I have to blow my friggin' nose because of these stupid allergies. Ragweed. In North America, it is ragweed season. There's this stupid grass that grows here. I actually don't know if it's just North America. I think it is. It's like vicious pollen. Vicious. It like sways our whole economy. There's an artificial sweetener called stevia. And it is in the same family of plants, and it makes me super ill if I ingest it. But with the pollen, unfortunately, you don't get a choice. Inserts itself into my body. I do a channel count V1, I guess, because those are not very desirable. I should probably get some altering rarities here. I only need 3 more? No, I need 13 more. There's only one of those. Oh my god. So bad. This is with an allergy pill too. All right, we got a channel count V1. Maybe script slot. Oh, there were some really cheap ones. Someone lost money on a bunch of them. It doesn't matter how many of them. Probably get... Well, I'm only getting one. What am I at? 21 out of 32? Oh, God. Doesn't really make sense to script something that's like, buy 32 random cheapest upgrades possible. It doesn't really make any sense because this is the only time I'm ever going to do something like this. In fact, I'm going to have to get rid of all of these at some point too, so... I need 11 more. I have 4 variety. I have 2 rarity. I should get another rarity of, I don't know, maybe char count or something. Oh, I could do easy 40, right? Because easy 40 is is white rarity. Is anyone Thunderbear, like, I feel like Thunderbear is the one that's doing all these ones undercutting Hactics without understanding that you shouldn't. Does any of these belong to Hactics? Because Hactics tends to batch them, which would be nice. If I get a batch of them, no. F. Sween. Sween. It doesn't mean anything. I'm just making that noise. Because this is boring. Am I there yet? Fnord. Oh my god, I need 6 more? What the hell, man? Oh, it's public script, isn't it? Thunderbear, you lose 100 GC every time I do this. That's 2, 3... 4... 5... Oh my god, almost done. And... 6. Okay. 32. All right. Now we'll go beta lock sim. Shuffler. We will do like Min. Is it up min count, I think? Ah, shit, I can't remember. Any of these is fine. It is up count min. Locks. Name. Shuffler. Up count min 4. Up count max 32, I guess we'll do. I might as well do 58. It doesn't really matter. Name count, sure, 3. Rarity count 2. And digits 3. Simulation created. Block by shuffler. Yeah, they're bigger numbers because it has to do with the number of upgrades. That number gets bigger the more upgrades there are. We already figured that out, though. So I don't have enough time to do all the permutations because I don't know how many 32 factorial is. Probably an insane number. So it's not like I can even farm the range of numbers either. So the question of what happens when I have I wish Nucleosum was here. What happens with Shuffler if I have a full inventory? The answer is nothing? That we didn't already know? Like that number tends to be larger. But we'd already figured that out. Well, I hadn't written it down, but I had figured it out. The answer is, the more upgrades there are, the larger the number hint appears to get. I don't know if that is a good way of wording it. What happens with USAC if I have a full inventory? I don't know if I want to analyze USAC because I haven't even looked at it. I hope that I don't need to know. Do I have to solve these locks at the same time? That would suck. Like, I can't do them one at a time. That doesn't sound right. Hey Matrix, yay Shuffler. I know you like Shuffler, but I am not enjoying it so far maybe that feeling will change once I figure it out. But Nucleosum asked what happens with Shuffler when I have a full inventory. I don't know if that was a question because Nucleosum didn't know, or if that was supposed to be a hint, but it only told me that the number portion of the hint gets larger, but I already knew that. Once I figure out it'll change, I need the right line of thinking. I mean, that's true of any puzzle, right? My problem is Nucleosum doesn't know squat based on those questions. Well, I'll let you take that up with Nucleosum. So Nucleosum did have, I think it was Nucleosum, had a solve, but it was from 2018. So either their knowledge could be older, or they could have forgotten something maybe. But regardless, I already knew this. So I'm going back, my tier 3 user because that's where the script is. I'm not going through all this crap to get that script over there. Because I think what we had done was just done all the permutations to figure out that you can't brute force it like that. That's where I left off with my line of thinking. So these are all of the all of the possible permutations for the 4 upgrades that I have right now. And the hint that it gives. So this is the range of hints. I'm probably going to roll some of this code back. When you went to finally solve Shuffler Forever, you bruited offline. If you solved it, why are you still brooding it then? Shouldn't you be able to know what to do? Like without brute forcing it? You never see any shufflers? Like people don't use them? Class of problem it is presenting is when you can solve outside of hackmud if you export the parameters. NPCs use them. People don't because the solve is too easy. So like conspec. Conspec is too easy to solve, so players don't use them. There's an advantage. Okay, well, I'm happy for you. I need to understand what it's doing. For a given permutation, NPCs do a good job of that, but players ought to as well. Like keep shufflers out there, I guess. Like if it's going to stump people because they think that nobody is using them. So the for given permutation, so if I have them in order 0, it always gives me the same hint. Minus 4.5. Always. But what it shuffles to and what it accepts as an answer changes. So it shuffles probably randomly or semi-randomly. If you think your target isn't using one, prepping for a shuffler is a disadvantage. I mean, that's true because if you're going up against USACs, you don't want upgrades in there, right? Probably. I don't want to talk too much about the like metagame around Shuffler right now. I want to figure out how to solve Shuffler, because I think this is just piling more stuff to think about on top. I don't want to get there right now because I'm already overwhelmed by trying to figure this out. So I want to roll some of the work that I did here back because I don't want this brute forcing is unrequired. If I log the name and go through all the permutations, instead of supplying them, that should go back to doing the original range, I think. So that gives us all of our permutations and their hints. So I know what the pluses and minuses mean-ish. I know what they represent. I don't know how they're helpful. There's 2 digits here, and those 2 digits represent 0, a random selection of 2 numbers between 0 and 9. And if it's a plus, it means that that particular number is in here. So like this is probably an 8. Right? So because this number contains an 8, that one's a plus. This one contains an 8 right at the end, so it has a plus. None of these other numbers contain the digit 8, so that one is not a plus. This one is never a plus, so we don't know which number it is. We only know which number it isn't. But again, I don't know what to do with that information. Does that mean that all of the... Nope. I was going to suggest, does that mean that all of the swapping pairs have to add up to 8, but none of them add up to 8 because I only have 4 items? Matrix, saying that you solved it offline is a hint. Like you did it with your out-of-game script? Like you outsourced it? Or like you took the answers and you... to not have to deal with runtime limits. I suppose what I would have to do is I would have to know for a given hint what the answer is. I can create upgrade stacks that will solve any shuffler. But I have to... I can create upgrade stacks that will solve any given shuffler, or an upgrade stack that will solve all shufflers. So there is an upgrade stack that I can create that is guaranteed to solve every single shuffler. That sounds kind of gamey, right? So like, I have to... So that's probably why it's not worth doing, right? So to get an idea of my progress, have I figured out what the pluses and minuses mean in respect to the number it's given? Yeah. Well, I think so anyway. I don't understand its significance. So it means that this, for example, represents the number 8. Any one of these numbers, when it has an 8, this first digit has a plus, meaning that there is an 8 in it. If the second digit were a 6, for example, there would be pluses here, here, and here. There would be a plus on this one too. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, I figured that out Thursday. I don't know what that means though. Like, okay, so there's a plus, meaning there's an 8 in here. Okay. So I'm guessing that 8 is significant for some reason. And the minuses, I can only determine that the second number, I only know what it's not. So it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 8, or 0. So it's 0, 7, or 9. So I have 8 as the first number, and then 0, 7, or 9 as the second number. So I have 8, and then 0, 7, or 9. So I'm assuming I have to do something for 8 and 0, 8 and 7, and 8 and 9. And I have to try all 3 of those. Except I don't know what that means. Have the same upgrades in slots 8 and 0, 8 and 7, and 8 and 9. I don't even have 8 upgrades. Does that mean that you have to have 8 upgrades? Does that mean you have to have 10, even though the minimum for the upgrade minimum count is 4? You don't. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think this, so that didn't really make any sense. Actually, it's more like 80, 87, and 89, right? Maybe? Again, though, I don't know what to do with that. As long as you satisfy shuffler and have up count min or more, I'll get through. Yeah. So I don't know what to... I don't know, is it 8 and 0 or is it 80? And I don't know 80 what? What is 80? What can I do with these 4 upgrades to make the number 80? I have no idea. How do I make the number 80 with these upgrades? Is that what it wants? If I put them in a certain order, it'll come out to the number 80? I already know there's probably some multiplication or division in that has to do with either the upgrades tier or its rarity. It's like, is it index divided by rarity? Index times rarity? And some of them appear to be interchangeable. Like C001 and EZ20 seem to be interchangeable sometimes. Why is that? This bit is the hard part. Oh, so the up until now was supposed to be easy. The figuring out what the lock wants you to do roughly is the easy part. Okay. How are they influencing the number is the hard part. So when you say number, do you mean the masked number or the unmasked number? Is this second number only useful for determining the digits? I have to use all the permutations. The number that my upgrade stack has to come to. Sorry, it. Which one, though? It is it in that sentence. The masked one or the unmasked one? The right-hand number. Okay. So the unmasked number is the one my upgrade stack has to come out to. So what are these numbers used for then? What's the significance of the plus and minus? Like 8 and either 0, 7, or 9. Not has to come out to. What it has to come out to. Oh. I'm inserting twos in your words. I am. What it has come out to. What it has come out to. This order came up to 66, but it needs to hit 80, 87, or 89. But I only got up to 66. Is that the right line of thinking? It isn't quite as strict as 89. So I think it's like it's like 80, 87, or 89 if I hit any of those three numbers. So or the number has to have an 8 and the other number in it. Just has to have the number in it. It has to have both digits. So if this is a 7, whatever the answer is has to have an 8 and a 7 in it to unlock. I think that's it. This is like a combo lock, right? Like a luggage lock. And you got to get all the numbers correct. It's kind of like a Wordle, but with numbers. All of these need to be pluses, and then the lock unlocks. It doesn't care how you do it. Just get them all like this. So get an 8 and a 7 in your answers somewhere. It's a mastermind. Okay, that's helpful. So the first part, the first hint is the lock tumbler, like luggage lock, mastermind. It needs to be all plus to unlock shuffler. There are X digits, and the answer needs to, the upgrade stack needs to work out to a number that contains all of the digits to unlock. But what is it doing to work out to a number? I should say the second hint is the value that the current stack has worked out to. Unexpected token. Right. Now's the hard part. Yeah. Well, we'll see. What's hard for some is easy for others, and vice versa. Maybe I will have better luck, depending on how my brain is structured. So maybe what I should write out if I'm good at sort of stabbing in the dark at algebra, this will be easy. I'm probably not. I am I think my default thinking mode, too good of a hint. Oh no, I already knew there's an algebra. It's not too good of a hint. I already knew there's an algebra that underlies this. It's figuring out what it is. Like, I already know there's some combination of numbers for each lock, based maybe on its position, maybe on its rarity, or the number of letters in its name, or something like that. There's some number that it works out to that's not always a whole number. And then there's mathematical operations that apply to it in a formula. I already kind of sussed all of that out. I just have to now find out the details, what the details are. So anyway, but no, my default style of thinking is intuitive. So I'm one of those people that I just give problems to my subconscious and I go, you figure this out. And then ideas will just kind of like bubble up to the surface, and I'll just follow those ideas and see if they go anywhere. Really good hint that you only really figure out after solving it is that Shuffler itself helps a ton with figuring it out. They all seem to do that a little bit, is what I've noticed. That they all kind of give you, in a way, they give you the solution. I mean, they have to, right? The nature of the puzzle. The puzzle has to contain a hint to its answer, or otherwise it's unsolvable. You're just guessing in the dark. Shuffler. No vowels? That's what I was thinking, Smark. I was thinking it had something to do with vowels. The number of vowels? Or the length of the name without vowels in it? The number of consonants? Because C001 would then either be 1 or 0. Because it has no vowels or only one consonant. It could be the number of vowels. Char count V2 has 3 vowels in it. Script slot has 2 vowels in it. Maybe that's why we were seeing decimal numbers start showing up when we had a char count added. It's not actually the rarity as much as it is that there is 3. And so dividing by 3 is going to more often result in an uneven fraction. If C and easy can be interchanged, sometimes it's 1. That's correct. So it might be the number of consonants. Also, consonant is a weird word, and it is never used anywhere else. People use the word vowel more often than they use consonant. That's my shower thought for the day. You hardly ever hear anybody say the word consonant. Because vowels are cooler. I think it's just because vowels are easier to say. Vowel. Consonant. Consonant doesn't flow off the tongue like vowel. Vowel. Vowel's a nice strong word. I have vowels. I have consonants. No. Vowels. Sounds like jowls. Alright, I don't know. I'm getting off topic. ADHD is fun. So what I could do here, I could just start spitting out numbers, different numbers for each of the upgrades, and like maybe at some point I will see some math start to pop out of here. Like 5.6 is a very definitive decimal. Like, let me try. You only hear vowel with I'd like to buy a vowel. On Wheel of Fortune. I wonder if Wheel of Fortune lingo is what's responsible for the predominance of the word vowel. I want to fuck around with lots of upgrades and rarities. I certainly feel like I should have a... Well, see now, originally I was... rarity is also expressed as a number, right? This is rarity 0. So if I do, what I should really do is keep the current order as its own array and pass the serial numbers into sorting. I don't think I want... Hold on. I don't think I want to do that right now. I do want to do the permutations of static. Though that doesn't really matter. That's just so my permutations are always in the same order. You know what? I don't think I should do that. I think I should do permutations of original order. Current order is going to equal original order at first. I don't need that. Sorry. What I should do is I should map the serial numbers when I pass it into the sorting algorithm, because I want the other information from current order to be kept for now. This should behave the same way if I've done this correctly. Yes, that appears to be functioning the same way. No, it's not. I got the same permutation twice. So I fucked something up there. Get permutations of the original order. Yeah, I broke something, so I'm just going to undo all of this stuff. I should really start using Git for this shit so I stop introducing breaking changes into my garbage. If I was using commits, I could just revert stuff. Okay, so this produces permutations normally for some reason. But if I don't do the initial sorting, it still works. So what did I need to do that for? Unknown. Maybe that's not required. Get the current order and sort them. I guess I was just doing that twice and there was no point in doing that. I just wanted to do this without having the static order. Why can't I do it like this? Oh, I think that's why? That seems to be doing their permutations correctly. But the order will be different because the starting position is different because I'm no longer using a static permutations. I'm calculating off the current order. Right? Yeah. But it still does all of them. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, I'm good. Okay. So now I am keeping the array of the full data for the upgrades in memory. So I can do this again here and replace this with current order. So this will give me the names and rarities. And now I can log some numbers for each one instead. Okay. So now what I want to do is generate some numbers here. We could do Is there a regex for non-vowel characters? I don't think there is. I think you just have to do Oh, is Y a vowel? For shuffler? Are there any upgrades that have the letter Y in their name that I've seen so far? I don't think so. I don't think so. This has to be done in the map. Current order. Map X. This. X.name. .length. Like this. .join. That's the number of consonants, I think. No. If I execute this, char count should have at least been 2. It's supposed to do /g, which is supposed to do multiple matches, right? So I'm having a regex problem. Should this not... Just want G. Yeah, it should give me like 6 matches here. Let me try it the other way around. That's better. Okay, that's better. Let's look at these numbers and see if we notice anything. 2 is a pretty small number, right? So, like, we need a formula that produces 66 when the numbers are in this format. Well, but that's probably not entirely true, because so it could just be a formula and it has nothing to do with the rarity. I suppose I could test this by swapping out the char count v2 with a white char count v2 and see if these are identical. I mean, that would definitively tell me. So I should probably do that. Do rarity 1. so that I still maintain the 5. It's going to cost me 5 million GC for this fucking experiment. Maybe script slot's better. That is a far more affordable experiment. That's not helpful. So one of the permutations now gives me a... Why do I have a negative number now? Interesting. The other number is a 0. At least I know that. Set to digits 9 if I want it to never solve. Because I'm not likely to ever get a number that has 9 digits in it. The only problem is so it didn't solve there. I just want to see what the difference is in these numbers by upgrading the rarity of this, and did that affect it? And the answer is yes. So rarity is involved for sure. And I know maybe it was hinted that it was, but now I have verified myself that it is absolutely involved, because these numbers are now different, including negatives. So we didn't get negatives until this became a rarity rarity 1. So why would a rarity 1 make these numbers start to become negative? Like -1. So 1179 still comes out to 2 though. That's the interesting thing. But 1179, where was that? Is 2. So it's the same order. So in this order, the rarity didn't matter. What? So position. Well, we already knew position. We already knew position was a factor. It's possible that one of these positions is a negative, right? That is just like, take the number in this location and multiply it by -1. Could we take a number and subtract it from another number? Oh, man. there is an equation. There is an equation here. Upgrade rarity is a factor. Number of consonants is likely a factor. Upgrade index or position is obviously a factor. I just say index or position. So it could be like A plus B minus C times D or whatever, or divided by D. And then A would be equal to, you know, each number could be consonants times rarity or something. Still didn't notice any negatives until a rarity 1 was involved. Didn't notice any decimals until a rarity 3 was involved. Would I like you to send me a bunch of white shuffler upgrades to play around with? Not right now. I appreciate the offer. But my brain is cooking. Not like it's overheating. It's simmering. It's stewing. I'm making a brain soup right now. So I'm just trying to... This is the patented Xylox thought process, which is just add more ingredients into the pot and just keep stirring. I don't know. I don't have a very... I know like I have an analytical way of documenting a problem, but my creative problem solving part of my brain is not as systematic, I guess. I don't even know if I'm explaining myself properly. I'm just trying to... I'm looking at these numbers for inspiration, I guess, is what's happening. Development to me is half science or engineering and half art. To me, it's just, I have to get, you know, inspired. Something will come to me. I will figure something out, maybe. I need to look at two arrangements here that are very similar. Like 1197 and 1179. But there is... Rarity is also involved in here. So I suppose what I could do is have another line that spits out the rarity. Copying this line's probably makes more sense here. So the rarity is a number, right? Let's not worry about color codes. Just spit out the rarity. Ten plus 10 plus 1 plus 1 is 22. But that can't be straight addition, because then this would be also 22. Minus 8.45 repeated. $25.4, a very definitive. 1.2, very definitive decimal number. 1.2. 24 2/3. $42, the meaning to life and everything. 2.83 repeated. With a 5 on the end, which doesn't really make any sense. I'm assuming this is floating point math. This is just floating point inaccuracy crap. See, this is how we know that index is involved in the calculation as well. Because this came out to 3, and this came out to -1. So position matters. But not always. Position sometimes matters. So I should probably put out the index as well, which is just I. I don't really know. I'm gonna write it out. It's basically just this. But I just want to see it there alongside. This comes out to 3. This comes out to -1. These ones are so very close. They're both 1. They both have 1 consonant. They're both 0 rarity. But their index positions are 2 and 3, which are swapped. The difference between -1 and 3 is 4. This one's 4 less than this one. No, they're the same numbers though. There is another There has to be another factor involved here. All the numbers I've written out so far are the same. So there has to be another factor that I'm missing. What's a difference between C001 and EZ21? The number of consonants are the same. Its rarity is the same. Their index positions, if you swap them, are the same. It's either 2 and 3 or 3 and 2. But they have a difference of 4. Swapping them makes a difference of 4 between the answers. 4. Where does the number 4 come from? It is the... No. 4. Could it have something to do with the number of underscores? C001 is the only upgrade here that does not have an underscore in it. This one and this one, EZ21 and C001 are swapped, and it has a difference of 3.6. No. 2.4. An ad coming up, so... All right. I'm going to step away for a short break. Walk around for a minute. Go to the bathroom. I feel like I'm... Oh, okay. Anyway, I will be back in a couple minutes. All right, I'm back. Thank you for waiting. Nothing super exciting going on right now anyway, but I am not sure. I mean, it's the 4th position. Maybe it's a 1-based index? No. No, it's not the index. There's another factor that separates these two. Because the numbers, the math works out to be the same thing no matter what. 1 consonant, 0 rarity. They're both locks. What are the differences between... Whoa, what the hell was that? Info 1 and 3. What are the differences between these upgrades? They're both same rarity. Their name is different, but it's the same number of consonants. They're both locks. They both have no class. They're both tier 1. They're both loaded. Their positions are different. We already know that. Their serial numbers are both massive hex numbers. The only difference that I see between them that we haven't already accounted for is the number of underscores in their name. So it could be number of consonants and underscores. If I put an underscore in my regex here, it could also be vowels. Oh, hey, Shira. Welcome in. It could also be vowels. It's true. It could be that vowels play a factor. A-E-I-O-U. Oh. That could also be null, I suppose. How do I do a null? Can I do a null coalesce? If this is null, then 0. Otherwise, this dot length. If this, can I do that? Isn't null coalescing operator? No, it doesn't exist. I just have to do like, if it's not equal to null, then this, otherwise 0. That should work. That's a hackmud problem, I think, right there. So, I think I would start labeling these now. So this is going to be consonants. This is going to be vowels. This is going to be rarity. This is going to be index. So if I can find those ones where they were swapped at the end. Oh, it's because I put CN. Whoops. Log. Jesus. Log CN and then this. I have to put this all back on one line. Blech. VW. Rarity and index are both fine. God damn it. What did I get? Oh, did I delete my fucking null coalescing thing? I think I did. If this is not equal to null, then this dot length, otherwise 0. Better. I don't need that auto coloring, but whatever. So here we have 10 and 12. So the difference between these is 2. And it's the difference between the number of vowels being 1 in the third index or 1 in the fourth index. This equation could be fucking nuts looking. Like, it could be the number of vowels. It could be the number of underscores. I mean, it's the same though. It's 1. It could be the number of vowels plus the number of underscores. It could be the number of consonants minus the number of underscores divided by the number of vowels. Like, fucking anything. These numbers are very close though. Like when C001 and EZ21 are swapped, when they're the only ones that are swapped, is the change always very small. So this one's 22. If I find the equivalent that starts with EZ21, script and char is 22. Fuck me, that's the same number when they're 1 and 2. Math. I'm not good at math. There's some equation with an There's an equation with an unknown number of variables in an unknown configuration. Unless it's like you always add the index or you always divide by the number of vowels. That would be another reason why adding char count v2 in here started giving decimals, because it has 3 vowels. So if you're always dividing by the number of... No, so you're not. Unless, like, for the 4th index, like... Fuck! You divide by the number of vowels divided by the index? How the fuck am I supposed to figure this out? The number of vowels divided by the index is 3. Here it's 1. Here it's 1/3. Here it's 0. Somehow gives us -1. That can't be it. It has to be divided by the vowels divided by the index. So multiplied by the... No. It could be if the number of vowels is greater than the index. Do something. I feel stuck again. This comes out to less than 1. And it's a decimal number. This one comes out to a negative number. There's also the tier that factors into this. That could factor into this, right? It's interesting that swapping the 3rd and 4th seems to make only a difference of 20. But when they're in this order, it makes some very significantly difference. A fractional difference. A large negative number. Fuck my life, man. Having this. So the consonant value seems to have the most weight. Maybe. Because swapping 9 and 1 made a very swingy difference. Right? Swapping 9 and 7 only had a difference of 2. I mean, we're still dealing with 20 though, because the difference between these two is only like 33.054 repeated. What the fuck kind of number difference is that, man? The difference between these two is 20. Which is, it swapped the same ones though as this. But when they were in this order, the difference was 30. When they're in this order, the difference is 20. I don't know, man. I don't know. I hate math. I hate math. I have an art brain. The only reason... it's making me angry. This is just algebra. Fuck algebra, man. Fuck algebra. It's not about... This isn't about patterns. This is just fucking algebra. Discover the mystery equation with an unknown number of variables. I don't even know how many variables there are. 2? 12? We have 5 right now. We're also not counting underscores, so that could be 6. There could be up to 6 variables. Up to 6 variables in each position in the equation. So the equation could be something... So the equation could be fixed. God help me if it is not. So the equation should be fixed. So it's like A mathematical operator. So it's A operator, B operator, C operator, D. What are the operators? And what's the pattern to the operators? Because Shuffler has to be solvable if you have 4 upgrades, 14 upgrades, 44 upgrades, right? It has to be solvable, which means that the operator order has to be predictable. I suppose it could be bed mass, right? So it'd be DMAS. It could be DMAS, right? First number divided by second number. Multiplied third. Add fourth. Subtract fifth. No, because there is no fifth number. So I don't know how I would end up with negatives. It could be reverse bed mass. So you always subtract the first 2 numbers. No, because then I would always have negatives. Do I start brute forcing a fucking algorithm? I don't even know how to approach that problem. It might never multiply, for example. So I have to come up with all the possible forms that I have to come up with all the possible permutations of an equation with 4 variables. And then I have to come up with all the different ways to calculate those 4 variables, right? Because like A could be count times vowel minus rarity plus index or some fucking stupid shit. But that's assuming that all of those numbers are involved, and that's assuming that it's always going to be 4, a multiple of 4. Shuffler has 6 letters in it, so it could be a mathematical equation that repeats by 6s. But what 6 operations would it be? I do have at maybe 6 factors for each variable. Count, vowel, rarity, index, underscore. Wait, what was the 6th? Tier. So I have to just start sussing out equations. I think I have to take like this. Fuck, stop right clicking. Silox, get your shit together. I have to like I have to take like this one and just start smashing numbers together until I get 25.4. And then see if I smash these numbers in the same way, do I get minus 8.45 repeated? That's not fun. I don't find that fun. I don't find math fun. I do not find math fun at all. I hate math. But at least I know what I have to do now. I know what Shuffler wants, and I know what it's telling me. Right? So thank you, Matrix, for helping me figure that out. So at least I know what it wants. And this is what Matrix was saying. That's the easy part, figuring out what it wants. So I did figure that out. We figured it out as a team. I don't think I want to make those assumptions. There's an equation, upgrade rarity, number of consonants, index position obviously could be tier, number of vowels, number of underscores. Equation would have to have a pattern to it so that it can be calculated with a variable length upgrade stack. We know why there's more than one answer. Because it just cares if you have the digits in your answer. This also explains why the number of digits increases with lock quality, because the number of digits is not a hint. It is the answer. So this one, right, this example here and this example here, we were only off by one missing digit, which would have been, I guess a 1 or a 9. No, a 1. No. These are not the same. I actually don't know if these all came from the same lock or not, so, but. This isn't true. This is unneeded anymore because we figured it out. The shuffling behaves similarly. Nope, that's not true. It's because the thing, yes, we know that why that is true. Doesn't appear to care about serial numbers or upgrade. Particular name of a rarity, that's not true. Algorithm might be a function. We know that the algorithm is a function of this. The digits, I mean, that's true, but that's not the whole truth. This one, we know what it is now. Hint appears to be identical for a single lock if the upgrades are ordered in the same way. I think that's because the algorithm is the same. There's a limit to the significant digits. That's irrelevant. Adding increasing rarities to the upgrade list increases the chance of seeing a decimal number. I'm not sure if it's the rarity that increases the decimal or if it's the tier or something. So this makes more sense because there's going to be larger numbers as you add. It's an equation. So the larger the equation is, if it's got multiplication and addition in it somewhere, the number will get larger, should trend larger as you add upgrades to it. So I don't think that's relevant. I don't want to look at USAC at all. Decimals is normal. So we've got rid of all those observations, some of which were not correct. We seem to have a much better idea now of what Shuffler is and what it wants. There's an equation that has to be solved. We have to figure out how to calculate the variables, and we have to figure out what the equation itself is. We know how to calculate like we can figure this out with permutations if we needed to. We can figure out we could determine what the digits are by looking at the permutations, but this is likely, not very feasible with a larger upgrade stack. I can kind of see how you could gamify, cheat with the cheat with the specific upgrade stack, because if the variables were like number of vowels or number of consonants minus the number of underscores times the tier. If it's like 1, 2, and 3, you could get like something that has 3 consonants and 1 vowel at rarity 2, or get 1 vowel and 1 consonant and 2 vowels in tier 1 or whatever. You could like swap, you could play with those numbers. And what you end up with is like variables that come out to the same combination of numbers using the wonderful tool of mathematics, and then whatever. I kind of can see though how you could gamify this and have a certain lock stack or upgrade stack that satisfies all shufflers. In theory. I have no fucking idea though right now. Ugh. I feel like this is as far as we're going to get today. Underscores could factor in here into either of these, or could be its own variable, number of underscores. Man, I would have to do so much playing around with upgrades to figure this out. I think Matrix was saying that I need like upgrades with I need char count V2s of different rarities. I need char count V1, which is a different tier. If I could find a blue char count V1 and a blue char count V2, are conditions favorable for tornadoes again? Oh my god. I hate tornadoes. Why does this keep happening for me? Southern Ontario has become part of the new tornado alley because of climate change. I hate that. I'm gonna have to move underground. I fucking hate tornadoes. Anyway, char count V1, a blue char count V1 would be the same to a blue char count v2 in every one of those measures except tier. So that could be something else that I could try swapping. (161/81) has all the digits. Yeah, but that's just two numbers divided by each other, and I don't think the algorithm is that simple, Smork. And Matrix was saying, and I don't know if... I kind of am inclined to believe Matrix when he was saying that if you use digits 9 on the shuffler lock, that it is unsolvable. So it may not be possible to get a number with all the digits in it if you have more than like 4 variables in the algorithm or whatever, the equation that Shuffler is using. Because remember, the minimum number of upgrades required for Shuffler is 4. So there's at least 4 variables in that number. So I don't know if you can get 161/81 if you can work that out. There's too many unknowns right now. Maybe that's the upgrade stack, though. That solves all... you know what, Smark? I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna paste it in here. I don't know how relevant that is right now. Because maybe that has to do with if I can find out the algorithm equation. I keep saying algorithm. If I can find out the equation that Shuffler uses, and I can game it so that there's a certain combination of upgrades that will result in that number, then it will solve any Shuffler, because Shuffler's like, give me a number that has, you know, any number of digits in it. All of them. I'd be like, here you go. Solved. So that might be part of the trick. I just don't know how to get to that. I have to reverse engineer the equation. I have to reverse engineer the equation. So char count, doing the char count swap for a blue V1 might give a hint, because the only number that's going to be different is the tier. And then, for example, if I had this combination but with a char count V1, this number would be a 2 instead of a 1, and all the other numbers would be the same. And then if this became like 24, I would know that this number is being used in addition somehow, somewhere. And I could do that by moving different things around. So like easy 21. So find something that has one more tier. So like an easy 40 would be the rarity would go up by 1. And I could find out how all of these factor in. I don't know, man. If I could fill my upgrade stack with everything that's 1s, then the only thing that's variable is the indexes. And then I could see how the indexes changing, how the indexes affect the number. Reverse engineering algebra. From what I remember from algebra in high school, you can't solve for a missing value without having one of the values known. If you have like A plus B plus C equals D, you can't solve for any of those. You need to have a number somewhere. I guess I do, right? But I don't even know the operators. That's the problem. I have A something, B something, C equals 25.4, but I don't even know what the somethings are. So I could try to... It's too many fucking variables, though. There's too many variables, because A is actually A1, operator A2, operator A to N, right? Like, I don't even know what all the fucking operators are. Like, really, it's like A1 something, A2 something, AN minus 1 something, AN something, B1, etc. equals 25.4 or whatever. Like, what the fuck? Like, there's so many unknowns. I don't know what N is. And I don't know what A1, A2 are. And I don't know what the operator... Like, the operators... there's just too many fucking unknowns. Too many fucking unknowns. Could be the day of the week. Index times the day of the week. I don't know. It's probably not, right? But it could be. I have no way of knowing. I could run all these again tomorrow and I get different values. I guess that would tell me. Ah! All right. I think that's my wall for today. I can't seem to muster up the strength to power through reverse engineering algorithms right now. Equations. 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 It's an equation. It's not an algorithm. It's an equation. It's not doing anything. It's not accomplishing a task. It's just math. It's an equation. I hate equations. I hate algebra. My favorite subject in math was geometry. I'm a visual thinker primarily. That's why I like spitting out all these numbers and like looking at them. I prefer learning by watching stuff. So it's hard for me to... It's not impossible. It's just more difficult for me to learn with just reading stuff. And that's like, unfortunately, what math is. So I always did... I remember like when I was in whatever grade it was, when we were first starting to learn fractions. And I couldn't figure it out. And the teacher pulled me aside with an apple. I wish I could remember her name, but she was a substitute teacher. And she had this very impactful way of helping me figure out fractions. And that was she took an apple out of her lunch and she put it on my desk and started cutting the apple into different pieces to demonstrate to me visually what fractions are. And it was just light turned on immediately in little baby Xylox's head. And I was just like, oh, it just clicked. And then I understood fractions from that point on. I wish I had more teachers in school that were able to take the time. I'm sure a lot of them would wish that they could have taken the time to teach things visually. I think that's a big failing at least in North America's schooling systems, is that teachers don't have enough time to try teaching using different methods. Anyway, I'm just kind of rambling. I don't know what I'm talking about here. I need to be able to visualize this problem, is I guess what I was getting at. If I can figure out a way to visualize this, which is why I like whiteboarding as well. Yep. suppose I could write code to... I suppose I really only need to do a certain set of permutations to just kind of try to figure out what the numbers might be just by process of elimination. It doesn't matter though right now. It doesn't matter because I don't know what the equation is. At least I said equation that time instead of algorithm. Yeah, all right. I'm stuck for today. I think that's it. If there's a big storm coming, I have some stuff I need to get done before that happens anyway, so I think that's it for today. We're going to call it a little earlier than usual. Frick. Hopefully something will come to me. Or maybe I can just ask somebody for a hint later. I can just be like, what is N here? At least I know what I'm dealing with. Am I dealing with consonants and vowels? And tier and rarity and index? I guess that doesn't really help too much. Because I have a feeling I'm dealing with at least those 5. At least 4. At least the consonants, rarity, tier, and index factor in. So it's either it's 4, 5, or 6. N is going to be 4, 5, or 6. And that's still a lot of unknowns. Even if there were only 4. All right, I'm just kind of complaining now. So I think we're going to call it here. And we'll just come back. We did make progress, though. I like to end my streams, even the ones where I'm frustrated. I like to end them by recognizing the progress that we've made, even if the progress is that we've eliminated possibilities. But today we did figure out a couple things here, right? Because on Thursday, I kind of figured out the plus minus, but now we know definitively what the plus minus is absolutely like the tumbler on the locks. So that's good to know that. The number that it gives us is what the value is currently. Like it does the math on your upgrades and says, this is the number that these upgrades in this order gives you. I feel like I'm missing something there, actually. Because if that were true, wouldn't the permutations... No, because every time you run it, it gives you a different tumbler. So every time you run Shuffler, it gives you a different tumbler, and it said this is what your equation was set to. So the numbers are always the same, but the tumbler isn't. I think that's it. The equation... Maybe this should be a question. And maybe I should put the question down here. Is the equation always the same, but the tumbler is changed every attempt? Because otherwise the permutations would... just brute forcing the permutations would work. Does the equation change? Some unknowns there. But we did figure out some stuff here. Fuck. Fucking hate math. Alright, well, I think that's it. So, Matrix, thank you for all your hints and encouragement there. I appreciate that. I think I probably need... Well, it's going to take time, right? Like you said, this is the hard part. Shira, Smork, thanks for stopping by also. It's too bad we didn't make any huge breakthroughs today, but, well, I mean, this is kind of a breakthrough, right? Like, knowing that these pluses and minuses are actually the tumbler. This is the solution, and the number is how close you were to it, in a way, right? Because, like, these are the digits that you get. You have to get an answer with these 2 digits. So, in a way, yeah, we did okay. All right. Thanks, everyone, for coming by and hanging out. And we'll just, we'll see how we do and how my week goes. Actually, I'm off of work next week, so I might have a little bit more energy on Tuesday to actually do some coding. So we may do more hackmud on Tuesday. We'll see. We'll see what we do. All right, everyone, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy your next week as well. And be good. Be good people. Keep being good people. And I'll see you when I see you. Okay. Take care, everyone. See ya.